Energy, we can't live. This is obvious if you think about it. We use energy daily to cycle to school, to eat our sandwiches, and to basically do everything. But this is different energy than the machines use. They use electricity or some other sort of fuel. There are many ways to produce this energy, like solar panels, coal industries, and oil pumping or nuclear plants. These are some of the ways to create energy that they use. Some energies we share, like uh, chemical energy, they also use. But a lot of these manners to produce masses of energy are harmful for this Earth, meaning that they will mostly thicken the ozone layer, thus increasing temperature, which will melt the ice caps and rise sea level because more sunlight is trapped because the ozone layer thickens, or it will contaminate the water or wildlife. Well, here are three ways of creating energy and its pros and cons. Well, first off is natural gas. Well, gas is a large source of energy for our ordinary life. It creates a large amount of jobs and is better than coal because it produces less CO2. Well, better than coal and oil because it produces less CO2 and is more cost efficient. Gas has been found to be a relatively better solution in acquiring energy than those two. But on the other hand, it might still be a bad idea. There's a type of gas that is pumped up a lot nowadays, being shale gas. Shale gas comes from a rock formation deep under the ground, which is called a shale. These shales often contain substantial amounts of gas or petroleum sources. Well, if they want to pump it up, like pump it, um, they'll produce they'll place down like this drilling system, and they'll drill very deep into the ground until they hit a rock, a shale formation. In this shale formation are little gas bubbles, petroleum sources, which they will pump up using because then using an extended pipeline that goes on for like 10 kilometers, which is very, very long. Well, now there are pros and cons to extracting gases from Earth below. The pros are it provides a substantial amount of energy, it emits less carbon dioxide than coal or oil, it provides countless jobs, and little to no waste. Well, of course, there are cons to this. It's not renewable, so it will run out at a certain point. It still emits carbon dioxide. It's potentially dangerous due to being explosive, requires extensive pipelines to distribute, and it requires a copious amount of hydrogen peroxide. That's why it's called um, hydraulic, hydraulic, hydraulic drilling or hydraulic fracturing. Second is nuclear power. Nuclear energy is a source of energy that shall produce a substantial amount of energy when used properly. In nuclear energy, the nucleus is a key focus. If fission is used, a gigantic amount of energy will be released from the reaction. Now, fission is when something, well, an atom, no, sorry, a proton is a neutron. Sorry, a neutron is shot at a nucleus, and it splits into two. But since these two um, atoms have less mass, now have more mass together than this one as a whole, because as it was before, energy is also released. This, has to do with Einstein's famous equation E is mc squared, and since c is a constant, it can be stripped away, so energy is mass. Also, fusion is an alternative of nuclear energy. Sorry. This is when two atoms are shot together. This will also release energy because, according to the same equation, uh, though this method of producing energy is not as easy as it seems. It's very dangerous and on a very small scale. It's dangerous because it's radioactive, and the fact that it produces massive energy, which can go wrong in the sense of destruction. Unfortunately, as I already said, nuclear power is very dangerous. Because of its tremendous powers, it can be misused very easily. for say, I don't know, nuclear weapons of mass destruction. Excuse me. Another downfall is the heavy radiation in the forms of alpha particles, beta particles, and gamma rays. These are waves, particles or waves that have an ionizing effect on everything it encounters, which means it turns it into ions. A bonus of this manner of producing energy is that it's renewable, well, not very renewable, but rather renewable source, meaning that it won't run out as fast because there's a lot of it, and it creates really like massive amounts of energy, but it's still not renewable, so it will run out at a point of time. Another bad thing about nuclear power is that it just produces so much waste. This waste is radioactive, which will cause mutations in animals if it encounters animals, of course. It can contaminate the waters because it's radioactive waste. It can kill the plants with its radioactivity. And last is the risk of a meltdown reaction. Well, this fear is real. The chances are small, but certainly there. That happens when a reaction is out of control and the whole facility is destroyed. Well, last is hydroelectric. Well, how do you exactly get electricity from water? Solid question, but the answer is relatively simple. Let me elaborate. Say there's a large rectangular lake. Of course, this is hypothetical. On this end, a generator is built. A generator is built, and on this end, the water level is lower. So there's a shaft going through here, and of course, gravity being a thing, this water is running down here constantly, basically, and it hits like a turbine, which is constantly spinning and spinning and spinning, creating a lot of kinetic energy. And so that all that kinetic energy is, the energy is transported into here in an electricity room, which generates electricity, which is very clean and very good, but it's still it's not very good because at night, since there's less energy needed, this water is pumped back up again um, because there's less energy needed. But since all this energy from this generator goes all out into the city, the energy needed for it to pump it back up again is gotten from another substance, which is sadly. Um, a bonus of this manner is that it's rather renewable since it's water. Water is rather renewable in the lake, and because it's pumped back up again, it's very renewable. Um, this is what we want for the future. We need a rather clean way to produce energy, which is also nuclear power, and we need lots of it. Well, this was the basics of hydroelectronics. It's the same idea as coal, but renewable and rather clean. A prime example of this system is the Three Gorges Dam in China. These were three ways to produce energy. Thank you for watching, and bye.